I would actually be a very good marriage counselor. Um, if YouTube tanks, if my life goes south in whatever way, and I just lose out on opportunities, or the economy gets really bad, or I need what they call a backup plan, I could always get into marriage counseling, especially with red pill knowledge and going MGTOW. Ironically, I would be a very good marriage counselor because what better person to give marriage counseling than a mixed race guy with green eyes that's young with a modeling agency in San Diego who isn't married himself. So, what I mean by this is, first of all, I would advise these couples not to get married. And it's not that relationships are bad, and it's not that marriage is even bad in itself, but taking into account the marriage laws and the intersexual dynamics between men and women, I would advise to not get married just on that accord because people can move on for whatever reason and life happens. People move on to somebody else. There's nothing wrong with people choosing to leave a relationship or a woman with her hypergamy wanting the best possible man. It's not about slut shaming her. She can go with as many guys she wants, as much as she wants. But the thing is with the marriage laws is that's something to really take into account when you're a man that's actually going to take that on. And so the first thing is definitely to not even get into the marriage. But aside from that, even couples that are married, I would be a great marriage counselor, even just for the ones who are currently in a marriage. And there's a lot of different ways that I would approach that. So, especially with red pill knowledge, one thing is definitely understanding the relationship from a red pill perspective, because a lot of these counselors and people that spend hundreds of dollars on these therapy sessions and like, why is my husband acting this way? Why is my wife acting this way? It's like, okay, well, you need to really look into like what a man wants, what a woman wants, and to be honest, a woman is generally going to take the nurturer role, the submissive, the estrogen, the feminine. So it's going to be more attractive for you as a man to have a good job, money, looks, status, finances, ability to provide, and there's nothing wrong with her wanting that. Um, so like you go into this marriage, a lot of these people, they get to a certain age, like 25 or 30, and they see their peers doing it. So the guy just feels that, oh, it's time for me, and he kind of attracted to this one girl, been seeing her for, a year or two, they're comfortable, and he's thinking about popping the question. But, he's working his entry-level position, not really thinking about things. And it's like, dude, being able to really provide long-term and, like, making money, that's an important aspect of what a woman's going to want. So, I mean, if you're going to do that, if you're going to sign that marriage contract, understand that there's a good chance that she could upgrade at whatever point. I mean, don't just think, oh, I'm 25 or 30 and I'm just going to go into this because, well, she's 25 or 30 and we're kind of the same age and everyone else is doing it. It's like, no, dude, you got time to build. You've got time to really hit your peak, to really be what a woman's going to want. And then on the man side, for what we want is, especially in this era of feminism and just like the college hookup culture and social media and all the things being promoted, if we're expected to be this provider and having to work our way up in this economy, a guy might not be 30 or 35 until he has that total package. So when we get to that place after working our whole lives, we're not just trying to be the resource provider. We're not just trying to be the work donkey. You have whatever sexual history you have as a woman, or just your past life choices in general. But we didn't work our entire 20s just for you to be partying or seeing other guys or seeing your options, doing whatever, and then come at 30 expecting that we're just this resource provider. And even though we can provide and we're expected to provide and we do want to take care of a woman, once we're taking care of her, we go to work all day or whatever, come home. It's not just like sexist to be like, hey, like, can I have a sandwich or like, just like food or something. It's just like, oh my God, like he's been working his whole life to actually provide for this woman, and then like he wants dinner, and now it's just like, oh, you can't tell me that, it's feminism. And then she divorces him, goes with another guy because the dynamics were thrown off in her head. And it's like, so it's about understanding like the roles. So it's kind of like the Rollo Tomassi chart, the red pill sexual market value chart, where you see the ranges and peaks of women's sexual market value and men's sexual market value. And it's not to say that younger women are just like these like prized possessions. or that older men are like these prized possessions. It's just in general how the sexes play out. The women are and the men become. So as a woman, you need to understand what that means to just be. Like the woman just be feminine. That's what the man wants, and the man has to become. So the man, like, go out there and get it, be motivated, go be a leader, like take care of your stuff. So in general, that's how it's going to work the best chance of working for functionality. But a lot of things come into play too with these people that go into marriage counseling and paying all this money for these sessions and not understanding things. Going back into the dynamics of that, even if you are like the feminine woman that's being submissive and being full of estrogen, and then the guy is high testosterone and he's a go-getter and he's attractive and he's providing. Even if you have that covered, there's also just like other people around. So like the guy is like attracted to other women too, the girl is attracted to other men too, and it's like that's things that you have to think about when you're trying to go into this marriage. So you don't want to get into a situation as a guy, like, you don't want to just be the resource provider. And so these couples that are already married, if I was a marriage counselor, he doesn't understand, like, why the sex is turned off, or the sex was great before the honeymoon, and then after just a flip was switched. And it's like, dude, you need to really understand some stuff about what's going on here, because part of the psychology of that too is you were this alpha, this leader, and so that attracted her. It was like it was part of the game, part of the hunt. And once she landed you and you signed that contract, an aspect of your attractiveness lowered because she already conquered you, right? So she already nabbed it. So it's like, what's the next conquest? What's next after this? More. So that's a part of it. And then that the whole alpha frame, like I said with before the honeymoon, like, you establish this alpha frame as you met her, and then as you get to live with her for a couple years, life comes up and certain events happen, and you're not always in the same mood every day. Things happen, maybe you have a bad day one day, and so you lose a bit of alpha frame, and then for whatever reason she's already conquered you in the marriage, and the sex is turned off, and now because she has the marriage contract, she can do the whole, well, I'm not feeling like it tonight, or you made her mad about like a comment, and so she like holds out to like teach you a lesson. Then there's like he goes to the couch, or like, I mean, that, dude, I mean, the marriage is just done. I mean, if you're being sent to the couch in your own house, just like that's done right there. I mean, we can just end the counseling session. But like, those just kind of things that come up, it's like sometimes you just got to tell these guys, there's not going to be some like quack psychiatrist who be like, well, you just need to like sit down and talk and rationalize your feelings and open up to her, and just like the language that's just like words that doesn't really say anything. Sometimes it's just like, dude, like, you don't get her wet like the other guy does, right? Like, there's other dudes out there that just get her wet. Like, you're just like, if you're going to be the guy that's like kicked to the couch, that's like, I mean, that's like a test, dude. It's like you're not going to get kicked to the couch in your own house, dude. Even if you argue with her, be a man, just make up with her, whatever. Like, don't hold grudges on things. But even if she's mad about whatever, just be that guy that just goes and plops down in the bed even after the argument. It doesn't even matter if you haven't made up or not. If she's mad at you, it's like, you're mad at me. I'm going to be in a good mood. I'm going to bed the next day. You don't want to be kicked to the couch, because then that's just like, you just lowered so much of your position. She meets another guy, you go to work and the pool guy comes over, or the plumber, and it's just like, dude, you just don't get her wet like this guy does. I mean, you're just gonna be like a little like a dog, like, hey, go to the couch, and you're just like heads down, like you're paying for the rent or the mortgage, or even if you're splitting it, like, you're still there, you're a team, like, you're gonna like be in your own place, and you got to be demoted to the couch, or like, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, you've already lost right there. So yeah, like, part of this marriage counseling stuff, it's like, dude, and girls too, but I'm just saying, as a guy, like, talking to a fellow guy, it's like, understand your role, man or woman, like what the other gender wants in general, and understand yourself, understand your genetics, understand your money, your situation in life, and understand just like being attractive. If you're out of shape and like overweight, that's not going to be attractive to either gender. So like, part of it is what you're doing to just use some common sense. Like, we're all animals out here. Human beings are just another form of animal. So really just understand that. Understand you as the human animal. Water, food, shelter, survival, money, relationships, consciousness, spirituality, just stuff that's going on out here. Understand what it means to be a human, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman. And don't get married in the first place, but if you are, get out of those like quack psychiatrist sessions.